Most people will never become millionaires. And surprisingly, it rarely comes down to a lack of hard work. I mean, millions of people exhaust themselves day in and day out, yet they stay in the exact same financial bracket their entire lives. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're decoding the hidden barriers to wealth and uncovering exactly why most hard workers stay stuck. And spoiler alert, it's not because they aren't trying hard enough, but because of completely avoidable errors in their everyday mindset and mechanics.
Look, if we just strip away all the emotion for a second, becoming a millionaire is actually a highly realistic mathematical outcome. But that's provided you avoid a few core habits that the average person just endlessly clings to. So we're going to break down the invisible walls keeping you from financial freedom, walls that quite frankly are mostly built by your own daily routines.
I want you to really ask yourself this. Is wealth actually just about luck and traditional education? Because most people genuinely think it is. They think you either have to, win the geographic lottery, be born into a massive trust fund, or have some fancy Ivy League degree. But actually, scratch that. In reality, financial success is largely dictated by your mindset, your habits, and the financial decisions you make every single day. It's entirely about what you do with what you have right now.
All right, let's jump straight into part one, the money traps. These are the immediate financial habits that are literally keeping you stuck. So, barrier number one is what we call the salary dependency trap. Relying entirely on a single source of income is incredibly dangerous. Think about it. If you only have one paycheck, you are always just one layoff, one company restructuring, or one bad emergency away from total financial ruin.
The wealthy, on the other hand, absolutely refuse to be dependent on just one employer. They branch out, they build side income, they put their money into investments, and they start businesses. It's like having a giant safety net. If one stream dries up, the others just keep flowing. It's all about building a resilient financial ecosystem, not just relying on a single fragile pipeline.
Moving on to the second barrier, which is a huge money trap, spending instead of investing. Everyday people constantly succumb to lifestyle inflation. You know how it goes. The second they get a raise, they upgrade their car, buy the newest gadgets, and just inflate their expenses, completely ignoring the massive opportunity cost. They are acquiring liabilities. But the wealthy? They focus entirely on acquiring assets. They buy things that actively put money back into their pockets, letting compound interest do the heavy lifting for them.
Okay, let's pivot to part two, the mindset roadblocks. This is how your own psychology can stop your growth dead in its tracks.
Barrier number three is all about the fear of taking risks. From day one, we're taught to play it safe, right? To avoid failure at all costs. But the fear of failure is exactly what stops growth. Making only safe choices is guaranteed to keep you completely average. Millionaires are always taking calculated risks to advance because they understand that without risk, there is absolutely zero reward. They don't just gamble blindly. They weigh the odds, and then they leap.
Then we have barrier number four, a total lack of financial education. Now, the traditional school system is fantastic at teaching complex calculus or, memorizing historical dates, but it completely ignores wealth mechanics, how compound interest actually works, or how to navigate taxes. In today's economy, if you don't aggressively self-educate on business and investing, nobody else is going to do it for you.
And that brings us to barrier five, which is huge, the massive misallocation of time. To put this into perspective, think about how the average person spends their free time. It's usually something like 40% on entertainment, 40% on mindless social media scrolling, and a tiny, negligible 20% on actual skill building. Listen, your time is your ultimate appreciating asset. Squandering it on low-value distractions instead of income-building habits is a surefire way to stay broke.
Which leads us perfectly into part three, the execution gap. These are the behavioral blockers that pop up the moment you finally try to take action.
So, barrier 6 is quitting way too early. Day one of any new venture is super exciting, right? But month 6 inevitably brings real struggle. And right around year 1 is the infamous give-up phase, where most creators and entrepreneurs just abandon ship because they lacked consistency. But here's the crazy part. Most people quit right before year 3, which is typically where exponential success actually kicks in. They're basically digging for diamonds and giving up just 1 inch away from the breakthrough.
And barrier 7 is the failure to take action. You can read every single financial book on the market, you can absorb all the data in the world, but knowledge without execution, it's just trivia. So many people plan endlessly. They wait for the perfect moment,
the perfect economy, the perfect idea, and they never actually start. Action is the absolute undeniable separator between the rich and the poor.
So how do we actually cross that execution gap? Let's get into your actionable wealth-building plan.
I love this quote. Becoming a millionaire is not about doing one big thing, it's about doing small things consistently for years while others quit. This right here is the ultimate mindset shift. Wealth isn't some magical overnight lottery ticket. It is relentless, mundane, everyday consistency. It's saving that extra 20 bucks, reading that one extra chapter, and making that extra sales call, day after day after day.
This translates into a super simple 3-step playbook. Step 1. Build just one income-generating skill that you can control, like freelancing, coding, or content creation. Step 2. Start saving and investing your money early to harness the immense power of compounding. And Step 3. Focus on long-term consistency. Forget all the get-rich-quick schemes. You need to commit entirely to the marathon.
Remember, the gap holding you back is not your intelligence. Seriously, there are plenty of remarkably average intelligence millionaires out there. The true gap is simply your habits, your discipline, and giving it time. And the best part? You have total, uncompromising control over all 3 of those things, starting right this very second.
So the blueprint is right in front of you. But as we know, blueprints don't build houses, right? Action does. If the gap between you and financial freedom is just a series of small, daily choices, which of these toxic habits are you actively choosing to let hold you back? And more importantly, which one are you going to destroy today? Let us know in the comments.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. For more content on success, money, and self-improvement, now it's your turn. Tell me in the comments, what topic should I cover next? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.